hands. I am, by God, I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man, where sleeping bears lie on the sand. Manitou has placed his hands. I am a Michigan man.
Bauer's Outdoor World from the Detroit chapter of Safari Club International's fundraising weekend. I like to come here, and I tell people that you need to come to this event and the other outdoor events around the state so that you can find out what you don't know. There's a lot I don't know, and that's why I come to these things, because I get a chance to talk and meet people who know different things about different subjects, and I haven't done it yet. But one of these days I'm going to make it to South Africa, and our next guest is Doug Koch, who is a guide in Africa. We've had him on the air before. Thanks for coming back, Doug. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Now, we were just having a conversation. You just don't all of a sudden wake up one day and say, hey, I think I'll be a professional hunting guide, and start taking people on trips. What do you have to go through to be a guide?
Well, firstly, you've got to write a learner's professional hunter's license, which entails the questions on the fauna and flora, the trees, all that, and all the wildlife generally in the area that we have in Zimbabwe. And then you've got to hold current first aid license, and you are taken on a shooting test to see if you're familiar with firearms of heavy calibers and that. And once you've got your learner's license and your shooting test and all that, you do an apprentice under a fully qualified professional hunter, and this normally lasts about 3 years. You sort of start off clearing bush roads and doing the more menial jobs and that, and slowly you sort of get to where they let you ride in the vehicles, and you pack the cooler boxes and that, and carry water on the hunts and all that. And the whole time you're learning, of course, on how to judge trophy animals and to be around big game and dangerous game. And after around about 3 years, where you now with your mentor, and that once he feels you are capable of taking out a safari, he then recommends you to go and on what we call the practical test. Now, before you go on the practical test, you will be interviewed by 3 other members of the Zimbabwe Professional Hunters Association and 3 members of our Department of National Parks and Wildlife, which is, I should imagine, equivalent to your fishing.
Sure,
game.
absolutely.
And then they will then invite you to come and do a proficiency test. And that is when they will take you out and a few other guys, and they will test you in the field on your ability to approach dangerous animals, your trophy selection of them, and actually you will have to go and shoot either a Cape buffalo or an elephant under their supervision, and they will mark you on that.
Now, what makes an animal trophy class? What sets one elephant apart from another, and how do you know?
Well, obviously with elephant, it's the ivory.
Okay.
We want the bigger the ivory, the better. And so you're looking for age, an old bull with big ivory.
Okay.
But when you're dealing with a lot of the other animals, the buffalo and all that, I think age is very important. We want to, everybody likes the massive racks and all the rest, but it's also very important to stick to the age of the animals. Go and find those old ones and the weaker ones, the old bulls that have been kicked out.
Right.
And
they're now in their own bachelor group.
Yes, like in the buffalo we call them dugger bulls. you know, and to me, I think the hunt should be more fixed on that than the ones with big horns and that, because often the ones with the bigger horns are the younger animals still breeding.
Right.
So
And you
in
want
my
to avoid
mind, yes,
taking out the breeders.
no, we got to leave them. And in my mind, that is what when I take clients out to hunt, I prefer to look for the old bulls, the ones that are kicked out and all that. Listen, it's very difficult in the bush because you know, it's not like cattle that you can put them in a race and open their mouths and judge their age.
Right.
But this comes with experience when you look how the horns are broomed off and often the coloration of the animal and all that. Yeah.
Good. Well, listen, Doug, we appreciate it. How can folks get a hold of you if they want to go out on safari?
Well, I've got a website. I don't know how to run it. These are friends of ours that do that, but I've got a lot of people around here that have hunted with me, and they serve as references and that. And yeah, they've just got to get hold of me through the Safari Club as well. Is a good way of doing that.
Well, folks, if you want to get a hold of Doug, and I know several people who have hunted with him, just get in touch with me through my website or my Facebook page, and I'll get you to Tom Pardo, and Tom Pardo will get you
There we go.
to Doug Koch.
Thank you very much.
I hope you celebrate.